Hey, if you like to hear the stories behind the guitars, stick around. Today we're going to play a couple of tunes and we're going to talk about this guitar. So I get asked questions all the time about guitars, and a lot of times people ask me which one of my guitars is my favorite. And that's kind of like asking a parent which one of their kids is their favorite, I think. And I've got a few guitars, and the ones that I have at this point, I think I still have because they're special to me. And some days I like to play one more than the other. They just sound different to me on different days, I guess. I don't know if anybody else is like that. So I decided I would start this series, and I want to take each one of these guitars and bring it out and play a little bit on it and talk about it, because every guitar I have at this point has a story behind it, and those are the best guitars to me, the ones that have stories. And we're starting out with this one, this particular guitar. This is my Ronnie Griffin dreadnought. It's German spruce top, and it's a walnut back and sides. The neck is walnut also, and it's from the same tree as the back and the sides. Ronnie cut that down himself, the tree. He cut it down in the early 1970s in Blackshear, Georgia. And him and his dad was in the local, I think he told me it was a hardware store or something, but anyway, there was a lady came in that everybody in the neighborhood knew or whatever, you know, and said, "Hey, who cuts trees down around here? I got a big tree in my yard I need down." And they knew that where she lived and knew the tree and everything. I said, "You mean that big walnut tree?" And she says, "Yeah." I think she was afraid it was going to fall on her house or something. Who knows? But Ronnie decided he wanted the tree. So he said, "Sure, we'll cut it down for you." So him and his dad went over there with chainsaws and an axe and cut the tree down. He said that he had bitten off more than he could chew, but they got it done. And they loaded it up in his daddy's station wagon and hauled it off. He took it home and he cut it into boards, and it's basically sat there seasoning and drying until he decided to start doing something with it and building with it. And so he built some guitars and some bass, electric basses and bodies and things of that nature. Ronnie built one just like this one for Moondy Klein. If y'all remember Moondy, he was a singer and guitar player with Chesapeake. Moondy wanted my guitar and I wouldn't sell it to him. I love this guitar. So I put him in touch with Ronnie, and Ronnie still had some of this wood, the same tree, left over. And so he built a guitar for Moondy. And the inlays in that guitar were designed by Mike Aldridge. Some folks don't know, but Mike was a graphic artist. And so he drew some things out, and it was really a challenge for Ronnie. But Ronnie built that guitar for Moondy, and I would say that's the sister guitar for this one. Now at this point in time, I think there's one set of that wood left for a back and sides. There's a few logs of it left, like the neck. Like I said, the neck on this guitar was made from it, and he's got some of that wood left. And he's since retired from building, so that particular wood is for sale, as a matter of fact. This guitar, the serial number is 1394. What that means is this guitar was built in 1994, and this is the 13th guitar that Ronnie had built. When I started competing, my D35 was, as much as I love that guitar, and I got it when I was 10 years old, as much as I loved playing that guitar, it did not mic very well. It would muddy up, it would feedback. It was just really hard to mic. And so in a competition, you need every advantage you can get. So I had decided I was going to start looking around for a newer guitar besides that. So I went to check Ronnie's guitars out and took that one up there for some repairs. And he said, there's a few people ahead of you, so I'm probably going to have your guitar a week or two. And you're welcome to take something home off my wall to play, you know. And he had 5 guitars that he had built that was hanging on the wall. 2 of them were small bodies, and the 3 were dreadnoughts. And one was a Brazilian rosewood, an East Indian rosewood, and this walnut one. So I took this one home. And I had it for a couple of weeks when I took it back to get my guitar. And, of course, Ronnie, I think, knew what he was doing the whole time. Because as soon as I got back, I just had to say, okay, what's it going to cost me? And Ronnie made me a real good deal on the guitar, and I bought it. For the next probably 5 or 6 years, I played this guitar a lot. It was my go-to guitar, and this is the guitar that I was playing when I won Winfield for the first time in 1997. And for my prize that year, I chose my Collins D2H. And so for the next several years, that guitar and this guitar were my two. That was it. That's what I played. And sometime around mid-2003, 2004, something like that, I got another guitar, and I started playing it a lot, and I kind of pushed this one back out of rotation. And so I just pulled it out the other day to do a video, and I was like, boy, I kind of miss this guitar. So I decided to play it and do the first video of this series. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the first one of the series. There'll be more coming out, so be sure and subscribe so you'll get the notifications when they do. Meanwhile, I'm going to play one more song and take us out of here. Thanks for watching.